up everybody, Fritz here. As you can tell, we're going to be doing the review of the AFE air scoop as well as the drop-in filter for the m235i, but this is going to be applicable to all of the BMWs that AFE does this for. And really quick, we're going to do some pulls. To me, performance is all that matters. I'm not too big on, oh, if I can hear it from the engine bay or not, because when the whole shelter in place is lifted, I do have to go back to work. I don't want an obnoxious sounding car, especially when I'm going to see one of my, let's say, more mature clients. So I want them to know that when I'm approaching their place of residence or business, when I have to go over their financial plans, that some 20-year-old kid isn't coming by on their little, makeshift lawnmower. Now, with all of that said, I do still want the performance of a cold air intake in my BMW. I think it makes the throttle response a little bit more linear. I think it lets you climb higher in the RPMs per gear. And so I still want all of that, but without being obnoxious. AFE makes the perfect compromise to that. One, in price, because I'm talking, this thing is only $130. $50 for the scoop, $80 for the air filter, and the air filter is something that you would have to replace anyways, whether you want to do a cold air intake or not. So that is a part of preventative maintenance. So really, I kind of don't even want to count the $80 in there, but we're going to do it for the sake of all things being equal. A cold air intake traditionally will be anywhere from 300 on the low end to 1,000 plus. And I really don't think that that is a good investment for the money. Now, if you want the engine bling, if you want the sound, go for it. Just know to temper your expectations a little bit because of the placement of the air filter, that it is highly exposed to the engine bay, and so it is going to be bringing in actually warm air. So it's going to sound cool, it's going to look cool, but it might not perform as well. Just, be prepared for that. These two modifications from AFE, on the other hand, one, it's a dry filter. So if you prefer the oiled system, if you're willing to keep up with the maintenance, I would say go with K&N because it's $30 cheaper. And the filter is pretty comparable. K&N is also a good brand. But I wanted the dry filter, that way I don't have to worry about oiling it up. Is it too much oil? Is it gonna mess with the map sensor? Is it gonna clog up at any point? I didn't want any of that. I just wanted a dry filter. Every 10,000 miles or so, take some detergent, clean it off, let it dry, and back on the road. The air scoop, why it makes everything more effective is because the duct that used to bring in air from the outside, it's actually right in between the driver's side grille and the driver's side headlight. So that little column of bumper right there actually prevents the duct from receiving direct airflow. So it's receiving deflected airflow, and it's not being able to receive as much. So what the air scoop does is it pushes out the receptacle portion of the air duct directly behind the driver's side grille. That way, as we're driving and as we're picking up speed, we're able to receive directed airflow, and that's what's going to make the pedal feel more linear, especially when you're climbing up in higher gears. And it's going to make the engine perform better as well because it has more air readily available to combust with. First did the drop-in filter, drove it around for a couple of days, and I felt that the pedal was more linear for sure. That could also have to do with the fact that my previous filter was extremely dirty and probably clogged up. As I said before, paper filters are more efficient at cleaning out dirt from the air, and those pores are smaller. So airflow is a little bit restricted just on the filter. So it makes sense that we would have some performance gains in just doing the filter. However, I would feel that the car would still bog down at the same point. So around 3,500 RPM or so. The car would feel more linear climbing up to that point, but it would still slow down. On the other hand, when I put in the air scoop and I really try to climb higher into the RPMs, I'm talking about the 4,000, 5,000, it'll get you there. no problem. And it was actually not like it's gonna throw you in the back of your chair, but it's a very gradual climb. So what you would feel going up to 3,500 is exactly how you would feel going up to 5,000 even. That resistance doesn't really kick in anymore. And I'm not sure if you could tell from the intro sound clips, but I'll play it for you here again. I'm not sure if you're really gonna hear a difference even from the outside. I definitely can't tell a notice from the cabin of the car, even with the radio turned off. Even if I'm not driving, just standing still, pressing on the gas, I can't really tell the difference. However, I'm not too concerned when it comes to louder sound or that induction sound. Like if I hear it, it's cool, but if I don't hear it, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. So just to wrap it up, because you know this video isn't meant to be a super long video, who is this for? I would recommend that the combination of the AFE dry drop-in filter as well as the AFE air scoop is really meant for people who daily their car, for people who have professional careers where their image really matters. You know, they see clients, they see potentially patients, the people who really have to present a professional image, but they love performance cars. This is perfect for you because you're gonna get all the performance benefits without sounding or looking obnoxious. If you're concerned about the looks of the car, if you're concerned about how it sounds and you don't have to present that image or it's not on your daily car and you want all those extra things, then by all means, you know, get the cold air intake. Just know that you might not get the performance out of it unless you have that duct system still in place, and you're gonna be paying more for it. So it's kind of like that whole pay to play thing. But with that in mind, as far as higher price is concerned, I didn't really intend to do a $1,000 challenge. I would just make up a hypothetical as far as, you know, should you buy a $1,000 cold air intake, or should you, you know, spend $1,000 on a drop-in filter and an air scoop? And you know, some of you guys have responded and said that you actually want me to see what we can get for $1,000. And so, you know, I figured why not? So we're gonna do a challenge. We'll include the air filter, we'll include the air scoop, and we'll see what kind of gains we can get for $1,000. But I would love your input. What kind of modifications would you like to see done on the M235i? What are some of the suggestions as far as how we can really stretch that $1,000 out? In case you guys don't know, we've already done the charge pipes, we've done the intercooler, and we've done the boost pipe as well. And I'm hungry, so I'm getting Chick-fil-A. All right, so now that I got my Chick-fil-A, let's see what we could do for a $1,000 challenge. A cold air intake that costs $1,000 I think is ridiculous. To me, I think the performance for the dollar, it doesn't equate. Of course, if you're doing it for a show car, that's completely different. And I think that this would be fun too for everybody, one in the community, to get to know each other, but also we would get a better understanding of why we do the modifications that we do. What purpose do they serve? Is there a dual benefit to it, such as the AFE drop-in filter? And we can also do this in a way that shows people what's the best order to do these things in. So just make sure to leave all those suggestions in the comment section. If you have any other questions regarding the AFE drop-in filter or the air scoop and how it's going, put those questions in the comment section as well. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the videos regarding the $1,000 challenge. And if you're looking to pick up any VroomTuber merch, since all of you are already part of the community, the link for that is going to be in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video.